Welcome back everybody, this is Brothermutant here. Today we're going to continue on our journey with our main Eldritch Scion, Dri'tch. She just got out of the tutorial. Remember, we just got done leveling up her compatriots, but left her at level 1 for good reason. We're going to be taking her all the way to the outpost, Oleg's outpost, and if we can complete the missions there, they unlock the ability to buy mercenaries. Depending on your level, depends on how much it's going to cost you. So we kept her specifically at level 1. So we reshuffled the team. We got this person up front. We got our cleric and of course our barbarian up front. Lindsay's in the middle there as well, and I'm in the back, although I should probably be like the A. Let's move forward. Oh no, a random encounter that we anticipated because we've done this so many times before. Okay, so this is just the typical first fight, just to get you used to the fact that you are going to get jumped periodically. Now we have thylacine, 3 of them. It'll be a rough fight. We're level 2 for most of our characters, so we actually should be okay. Gonna make obvious choices. Amiri will take on this one. Harem will take that one on. Lindsay will buff us up. More likely than not, we're gonna have to take a knee before too long. Anyway, I am going to do that.
A solid plan.
And attack at the same time. Nice. Now again, Lindsay will shut this off naturally if you just let it go, but I don't want it to accidentally tick another time, so I shut it off by myself. And I want her to click those guys. I want to select the whole team. If you select the whole team before you select these guys, whoever can skin the best, will, which is basically a lore nature check, will be the person that skins them. You see, we already passed the nature checks. We actually found out information about the thylacines. This is very useful information for those of you that want to find out how tough they are, what abilities they may have. For example, if we're trying to lower intelligence to the point where it basically cripples them, this would be a good way to do it, to find out how intelligent they are. In this case, it's not going to do us a whole lot of good. They're basically damn stupid. But it gives you other information, like how strong of an attacker they are. Do they have other abilities? You see that we haven't inspected the DC 26 ability there at the bottom, which means we don't know if they can do trips or other kinds of specific attacks. You see here, we've unlocked a whole slew of abilities thanks to Eldritch lore check succeeding, and we found out how tough they are, their initiative bonus, how much experience we get from them, their perception, which is kind of nice, how many hit points they have, their armor, various types, whether it's a full armor, flat-footed, where you caught them off guard, or their touch attack armor class. That'll be useful for me as an Eldritch Scion. One of the main things I'm going to be doing is going to be blasting from distance with some ranged touch attacks. They only get 1 attack a round. Their combat maneuvers, they get a 14 to defense. We still haven't inspected their abilities, so we don't know much more than that.
I'll go
Alright,
ahead.
we skinned them. Managed to get 1 pelt out of them. That's not too bad. And our teammates aren't complaining yet about being tired, so that's good news. Remember, I have the lesser restoration ability on my character, but we haven't rested yet, so it hasn't replenished itself. So we will still need to take a knee if we get exhausted. You know, we can press the arrow or go backwards if we'd like. Remember, we're not supposed to be going down, we're supposed to be going left. So we're just going to click continue.
I feel tired.
See, now we're starting to get fatigued, and you see how everybody is fatigued now, which is what that little icon is right here, the little blue one. Now we can cancel, just continue to push our luck. Now if we go too far, we get exhausted, so we don't want that. So let's actually, right here, we'll camp and show you how we do it camping. Now, there's more information that you can pull up here, like we can literally set the number of hours to rest. If we really need to heal up all the way, we have things that we can select from natural healing or use spells and abilities before resting. I can't see if this would be a bad idea. I'm sure there's a reason that you would want to do just natural healing. Perhaps if you get jumped before you officially rest, you wouldn't have your spells to attack. So remember, he can convert his spells to healing spells. This basically means that he should burn up all his spells healing the team, if they're wounded, of course. If we have more recipes, we can select them here. If we have special roles, we can drag characters here. We can't drag our own character to this spot. That's the one job we can't seem to do. We can do anything else except that. But if we do this, your teammates basically get these abilities. And I don't think this is going to work for our mercenaries either. You know, they're going to be just like us, you know, player characters. So these ones are built into the actual teammates that the game gives you. So keep that in mind if you want these special roles, because some of these are relatively useful. The best way to do this, I find, is to take everybody off, highlight one, and see where he's good at. So you see the -10 to camp camouflage. That's pretty bad. He's not good at cooking. He's okay at hunting, but is best at watch. Now for Amiri, she's pretty good at watch, but she's really decent at hunting. I'm okay at hunting. I'm terrible at watch. Lindsay's great at cooking, so we automatically, by default, know we're slapping her. I don't have any stealth, so my camouflage sucks. I don't have but very low perception, so again, my watch order, being in level 2 for watch, is pretty bad. Amiri, on the other hand, rocks both hunting and watch. And again, I'm okay at hunting because I have an okay lore nature. So let's do it like that. We could select use rations, which means we would use a ration per person so we don't have to hunt. This would be more useful, I would say, if you want to save on time. Remember, we have a 90 day? No, 90 day. 90 day? I'll have to check the journal. I want to say it's 90 day. 90 day limit to complete the missions of killing off the Stag Lord. So if we're trying to save on time, you want to use rations. It costs you money, but this is also heavy stuff too, and it really kind of burns through these things quite quickly. As a matter of fact, let's just do that now so we can save a little bit of the time up front, right? Okay, so now what you saw here is that while we used 4 rations, I actually managed to forage one, so we will still have 1 ration left, is what I'm saying. And we actually prepared an excellent hearty meal. That'll be a bonus to everybody on the team. That bonus you can see right here. Hearty meal. Lasts for 16 hours, a +1 on saving throws all day. Pretty damn sweet. So we just continue now, and we enter the trading post. And you're going to want to rest if you're weak before you get into this trading post, because there's going to be a couple of fights back to back for you. So, and I hate to give spoilers, but this is so early in the game, I don't feel like I'm cheating too much by telling you guys this stuff. So, the first fight you have is just some general ruffians just being jackasses. And we can prepare for it. And the reason I say that I don't mind cheating is because of this right here. As you get to this area, you see Balkan, one of your future allies, breaking from the area, and he says, "Save yourselves, fools." Well, that's kind of your point. You really are going out of your way to basically warn you that something bad is about to happen. So the best way I find to do this then is to find your characters. Actually, slot him up properly now. Firebelly is kind of a buff slash an attack as well. It's kind of an odd spell. And for those of you who don't know, Firebelly is a really good one. It gives you some fire resistance for one, and it lasts a minute per level, so it's some quick fire protection for anyone that can cast it on themselves. This is something I would highly suggest. It also allows you to breathe a cone of flame, but every time you do so, you lower the duration of the spell by 1 minute. Now he can cast it for 2 minutes now because he's a level 2 cleric. So I could buff myself, breathe fire, and then I still have it for a minute. Amiri doesn't have anything that she needs to do. We do not have anything in her belt, though. And let's reassign, order this stuff here. Is there anything we can give her to kind of help out? Bark skin could be okay. Large person, I like that. Let's give her a healing potion as well, just so she has it. We won't have to use them, but I'd like her to have the ability to do that if she needs it. I'm going to give myself a healing potion since I keep getting face planted here, and we'll even give one to Lindsay and good old Harem. They might as well have them on them. You never know when you're going to need it in battle, right? Now, for buffing, I can give myself a shield buff. Remember, I'm only still level 1, even though I'm technically level 2. I am only level 1, so this will only last 1 minute. So I really want to make sure to buff up at the last possible second. Let's get a little closer here, see if we can't see what the hell's going on. Yes. There we go. Bandit, bandit, bandit. Okay, so now we know what's in the area. I'm going to buff myself up. I'm going to do so with my weapon as well. Jump these little bastards, just see if we can take them out. Oh, 4 bandits. These guys are basically shaking down the local business owner. This is Oleg. So we're going to fire through this real quick. We can ask more information. We could base it on our alignment, so alter our alignment a little bit if we want. Or we can just say screw this and just attack them. The good news is you're going to attack pretty much anyway. So they gave you this option that's not really going to impact your alignment choices, which is kind of nice. But I'm going to go with a neutral good because I am chaotic good. So I'm not interested in bloodshed, but I won't let you rob this man. Be on your way and I'll let you go in peace. Remember, I am a technical good guy. Alright, we leave, but what makes you think we won't just return with greater numbers? Why would we leave when we've got easy pickings from rest stop before us? We'll rip out your guts and empty your pockets. So we're going to get attacked anyway. One character though chugged a vanish potion, excuse me, invisibility, and she's bouncing. So what was a 4-on-4 fight, well 5 if you count Oleg giving us a helping hand with his crossbow, and he will, now turned into a 3-on-5 fight in our favor. So that's not too bad. See, I'm over here. This guy looks big and mean and tough, so we're gonna mess with him first. Amiri, you do the same. I'm buffed up. I'll take this weak little bandit, and you're gonna buff the team, and then start firing. Alright. Ooh, that was a nice crit on me. That's not good news. Oh, that was brutal. Not sure how the hell she managed to hit both of them. Must have been Oleg swinging at him. So again, we got some nature checks you see here. So we got a little bit of information on our bandits. So you see that they're considered warriors, which is probably equivalent to a fighter. A little bit of perception, a little bit of stealth. There's okay strength, okay dex, decent con, not particularly bright. So there's that. They have okay hit points, and they had some decent armor on. 16 is not bad at this level. They had short swords, and they had a +3 to attack with them short swords, which is not good news for us. So more likely than not, they were going to try to hit us. That was not going to be good news. Let's see, what else do we have? See, they're basically more of the same. Bandit warrior. And you can see how these guys are neutral. So if you used Smite Evil, for instance, this would not be something that would do you any damn good on these guys. So keep that in mind. But we managed to take these guys out. And we have some gear. And we have the person to talk to here, Mr. Oleg, who's going to be probably pretty pleased with us since we just helped him take out some of his ruffians. So yeah, he's pretty happy with himself. And then of course Svetlana, his wife, comes out. We gain a huge hogging chunk of XP. And this is of course his dove, is what he calls her. Now, we have information here for what we're going to talk about. Again, I'm not going to ruin this for you guys. You guys can read this yourselves. But basically, I'm going to ask him information about what he knows about the bandits, because I want to find out if these bastards are going to come back with friends. Remember, one fled the area. Now, we can be evil and rob the guy, but we're not evil. We got lawful good choices and chaotic neutral. This one would alter us really in the opposite direction of our chaotic. This one would probably pull us back towards where we've been. I'll help you. I'm not really interested in your past, but I never back down from a good fight. Well, thanks, I guess. I might even be able to scrape some sort of reward together for you if we manage to defend the post. So, if you read through these, information here is going to be helpful because it will unlock certain choices. Here's a fine example of one. Alchemist Fire. If you click this one, it gives you information, and then you can literally put that by the gate. He shoots it with a burning arrow, and then boom, a bunch of bandits are going to get hurt when they try to jump us. That's pretty good information, but only really happens if you click this choice. And then he has other information about stuff in the area. So we're going to look around. Before we do that, let's ask him some questions. Like, I like to see his goods. Keep in mind, I'm not a gutter, people. I meant his wares. Thank you. Now we have stuff that we can sell. And again, while I don't have any real need for these items, remember, I am going to make another couple of teammates, a couple of mercenaries. That will be after this next fight. So before we get into that, let's think about what they are going to be. Now, one, I know I'm going to make an alchemist, and they'll probably be a grenadier. I kind of like those guys. And at level 2, they have the ability to not only throw their bombs, but they can throw their bombs in a way that doesn't damage our team with the splash damage, which is extremely helpful. Any bombardier, or excuse me, any alchemist that can throw bombs can do that. They have to invest a feat to do that, which means they won't get it until level 3, which is kind of a waste then of their talents, if you will. So it's the reason for the grenadier. Plus, I've been toying with the idea of having a grenadier as being one of my mains anyway. The other one that I'm thinking of grabbing, it will be the the scroll savant. There it is. Had to think about it. So she's not going to need either of these, but the grenadier is skilled with martial weapons, which is extremely helpful. So I could keep both of those and then decide later which ones I'm going to sell. If you click on this offer icon, it chucks a bunch of stuff that you don't want. Now you do want to keep that pelt, because if you realize this, a craftsman or a collector, a merchant would pay well for it. So if we ever get to a craftsman or a collector, they will take these pelts and do stuff with it that gives you more money. So that's pretty nice. We're going to keep one of each of the armors. We're going to get rid of all the mundane weapons that we're not using. Everybody's got their own stuff now. I'll keep the shield just in case that can be useful on another teammate. And I'll keep a dagger. Oops. A dagger for my scroll savant. I've yet to decide if I really want to do that one or if I wanted to do the Eldritch Scoundrel, which is the rogue / wizard combo. They don't get the same progression that we do. They're very cool. I kind of like them. But for what it's worth, it's kind of, I'm not the biggest fan of them. I'll sell those items there. You want to go through this list, of course, and make sure you're not giving away anything that's literally going to give you more information, like, oh, this would be of great use to someone other than a merchant, like a collector. And the reason for that is if you sell it to this guy, you sell it to him for a pittance. Buying it back is going to cost you money, and then selling it back to the collector will get you more money, but you're going to obviously lose out in the long run. So you keep all the rare items for yourself is the idea. So we have a chain shirt, chain mail, leather armor. I've yet to make our character, so we will literally have to make our merc. More likely than not, I'm going to make them like I make everything else, where they have a dexterity and whatever their main stat is going to be the 2 highest stats. And dexterity is almost like God mode in this game. So, oh, now you even have a breastplate. Oh, I don't want to keep that. All right, let's get rid of that one then. Make a little more money for ourselves. Deal. So we're only up to 900 coin. Now normally, I want to say there's about 500 per person at level 1, but I think the game is currently glitched, and that literally limits them to, 500 becomes $100 for the first guy that you buy. But we're going to get more stuff here anyway.
Tread light.
Such as a successful perception check. Yes. You know some good steel traps in the box. Use traps to catch bandits. Now that's good because that's free XP. You see 108 for harem. And here's where the traps go. You can highlight it with a tab button just to see it. And of course Vulcan, he showed back up again. We're going to want to talk to him before too long. But let's set up all our defenses first and then we'll re-talk to everybody. So over here we have not only a yellow box of just goods that we're going to steal from Oleg, but this right here, something disgusting slush in the pot. On a successful lore check, again more XP, this seems to be tar. Spill the tar near the trading post entrance to help slow down bandits. This is extremely helpful. We'll show you that here in a moment.
The path is clear.
Grabbing goods. I'm just going to cut through all this stuff and I'll see you guys back when we start to talk to Oleg and we start talking about the traps. Alright, we are back from rounding up some gear in the area. One of the things we did was we found a heavy crossbow. We equipped that for Lindsay because the difference between that and the light crossbow, while it says it's the same number, if you equip it to Lindsay, you see how she does 1d6. Remember, it scales towards her size. Because she's small, it does less damage. This is also important because if you cast spells that make you small, the same will happen to you and your weapon. Your weapon will become a smaller size category and therefore do less damage. Now, it's an insignificant amount, especially when you're swinging with a heavy strength, but she's not using strength for crossbows, she's just doing straight up damage. So those 1d6 for this one, will now turn into 1d8 when we use the bigger one, which is this guy right here. See? If in my hands, or anyone else that was of normal size, medium size, excuse me, it would be the 1d10 damage that you'd see. So this is still putting out more damage, so again, it's a good idea to give it to her. From there, we can probably now sell that if we're not going to give it to anybody, but remember I have a Scroll Savant that's probably joining the party here soon. She might need a ranged weapon if they don't give her one. So that's a thing. We kept a dagger for her, but we found some other stuff that we're going to chuck. And yeah, we got some bucklers and such. Nothing really to write home about. Remember, we also have these braces of armor. While I could sell those, if I use that Scroll Savant, she's not going to have any armor. So I can give it to her, and she'll get at least a +1 to her armor class, unless she casts a spell like Mage Armor, which would eclipse this, and therefore this would become useless while Mage Armor is on. But now that we're back, let's talk to Oleg one more time. We're going to talk about the guy that left and came back. What can you tell me about the man who ran away from the post and came back? He gives us information about Bakken. And get back to possible attack. No, I don't want to see his goods because I want to sell off this other stuff that I stole from him, which includes sword, the mace, and get rid of these bucklers. These are just the same as this light shield. I'm not real sure what's the difference really, other than price. These ones are cheaper and way less, so I guess we should probably keep the buckler instead. I'm keeping the dagger, of course, but that's pretty good. I'm going to go over here, and the reason we want to talk to Oleg about Bakken is Bakken won't really help us out unless we get lucky. He basically says piss off, but if we talk to Oleg first, or after this even, we can use diplomacy and hope that we have a chance at basically convincing the guy. But we can talk later, and the reason we're going to do that is we're going to do our little trick. You saw how Lindsay's name was the one that popped up. So if we try to do diplomacy, hers is even better now. Still managed to fail it though. Boo. Oh man, we failed it by 1. Really? That sucks. Now we talk to Oleg once we're ready. But we're going to talk to him later.
Observe the others.
Remember that glitch I told you about in the earlier part of the game where if you buff up ahead of time and then it forces you into resting in an area, which is what's going to happen with this next mission. Remember, all my spells are already picked. He has his spells all picked. Mine are just already there because I'm a spontaneous caster, same with Lindsay. Now, Lindsay doesn't have any buff spells on her yet. I do still have one. Let's see if this actually works for me. Buff up, that only is going to last for 1 minute. So if we do this mission, wait for the attack. Let's see if I still have the buff on me. Here we go. Oh, and it pauses. We didn't really kill a whole lot of anybody with that one. That's kind of sucky. Oh, these 2 guys died. Okay, that's something at least. You can tell that they're dead because you have the HP bar above each of their heads when it's paused like this. So this guy's almost dead. This guy's almost dead. These guys got full health. Here's a named bad guy. We got, of course, these jackasses back here, which have full health because they stand back. The traps, if they walk into the traps, they don't see them, they will take damage, and it should be an insta-kill thing if I'm not mistaken. So there's that. So these guys are about done. He's going to stay back at range and shoot, so that's going to be our main target, I'd say. Let's just make sure everybody's on him, with the exception of Hiram can come over here and mess with this bandit, I suppose. The tar will slow them down, so it's an AoE effect. And the traps, like I said, are like instant damage if they step on them like dumbasses, and they will not hurt us as far as I know. So Hiram's ready. Let's actually get a quick buff off. Amiri, she knows what she's doing. But let's actually get her stuff down here like she's supposed to have now. Okay. So get her rage going so she goes all batshit crazy on everybody. Lindsay's going to buff everybody. And from there, I think I'm even going to scream and shout at this guy because it's automatic damage. And then I have... Nope, I lost my shield buff. Ah, boo. So the trick didn't work this time. That's okay. That was kind of a long shot. I need to attack somebody, so let's actually... I didn't want to do that. I right-clicked it by mistake. I wanted to left-click it. Right-clicking it makes it come up over here. Actually, let me show you that real quick. If you right-click it, you see it's like an auto move. It's always on now. So any chance I have to shoot with Ray of Frost, I'll do so. And I don't want to do that. I want to just shoot it once and once only. And I have 2 guys that are pretty weak, so if I get lucky and hit one of them, he probably is going to die from this first hit.
Forwards.
Look at my team over here.
Won't kill me.
You deserve it.
That's not bad. Now, if you had Boken, the guy that was over here, and we convinced him to join us, he'd be standing over here throwing firebombs into everybody like an alchemist does. Sadly, he's not an alchemist that can throw them without hurting the team, which means we would have taken damage as well. So it's almost good that he's gone. But on the harder missions, on the harder difficulty, I mean, you almost want to have him and just plan around the fact that your team's going to take some splash damage. Again, if I would have used firebelling on him, he'd been damn near immune to the splash damage. So that's the thing. So as a way around it, where I could have him charge up and just let him soak up all the fire damage. Now, we still don't want to level up, but we do want to look at our gear. You see I got me a Cloak of Resistance. I'll take that on my main. That increases my Fortitude, Reflex, and Will Save by 1. Of course, it's higher because of the Hearty Meal, so even better. But once that Hearty Meal falls off, it'll still be something that I can count on. From there, Lindsay can use this chain shirt, and her armor class goes up, so that's a good thing. And Amiri, she can use this breastplate I forgot about, and she can definitely rock that and get some benefit out of it. Now she's fatigued, as you can see, but that's because of her rage ability. That's why it falls off in like 46 seconds. So because it's literally like a minute after she gets done raging, she has to calm down. And there's a composite longbow. I have one. Lindsay can't really use one to any great effect. She could use one. She wouldn't be great at it.
Don't give that to me.
Oh, zip it. You can't ever take away this weapon from her, by the way. This is her ginormous sword that she stole from a giant. She killed him and took his sword. Because it's a giant sword, she wields it poorly. It's literally a penalty because it's a ginormous sword. But it's an enchanted ginormous sword, so she gets some of that penalty back. So she's loath to part with it. But you can give her other weapons in these other slots, and you can switch to them. She just will never drop that sword, is basically what she's telling you. Hiram, he's got everything I want him to have. Unless I wanted to give him maybe that Masterwork Light Mace to increase his chance of like whacking on stuff. But already he's going up in level because he has the base attack bonus now from being a cleric. That'll go up for 2 more rounds, or 2 more levels to level 4. He'll get another +1 at level 3 and another +1 at level 4. That's not bad. Alright, let's talk with Oleg now. He's all happy by himself. And he gives you a little bit of coin, tells you to go take a nap while he cleans up the mess, which is a nice way of saying I gotta dispose of the bodies. Boken's gone, but he'll be back in the morning. So now we go inside, take our nap, and then in the morning we'll have the ability to get our mercenaries, which is what we're going to do. Before we do that, just note that there's stuff in here you can loot. She'll talk to you in the morning as well. Make sure you do that. And there's a little hidden cache of stuff over here, and I'll prove it to you. Probably won't get it, but I'll bump everybody's ability to perceive stuff with this. Walk into the area, you'll watch all these fall off us because we're doing the check.
I see something.
Oop, we got lucky. Look at you. Lindsay got the perception check. Rolled a 19. Man, see, that's a hard one to get. 25. And you can do this every time you level up, by the way. You can re-go through an area. But getting this early on is really good news because that's a big, huge wad of cash. So 253 gold coin just waiting for us there. Now, in this area, we have treasure chests here that's been locked. We have ones that we are open we can steal stuff from just because they're already open. Let's get those first. Gonna take all those things. This is where we can store our own goods.
I'm listening. I shall not fail.
If we want to get rid of things and keep them for instance, like, oh, I might want to keep a crossbow or a compound bow to give to someone else later on. I can get rid of these other items, but notice how we got a bunch of magical stuff now. We got an explorer's belt, a blessed signet ring. This allows us to cast bless 3 times a day. Ember, this wonderful little pet that gives us some saving throw bonus. It has to be equipped to our belt though, so that's not bad still. Other stuff that we got to get rid of, so we'll sell it off. And since no one on our team so far can use these scrolls, they're just going to sit there. We could always put food away, potions away. Books are good things to put away because we're not going to use them right now. And is that it? Maybe that shield, just so we have a buckler in case we ever need to come back to it. I hate wasting it, selling it and then having to buy it back for like 10 times the price. Seems dumb. And I don't think I want a short sword. Usually your guys that you get as mercenaries come equipped with something, so that's not horrible. Anything that's considered, not enchanted, what do I want to say, rare, that they literally say, oh, a valuable collector might be interested in this. You can sell it to the merchant for piss all, but you'd probably rather store it in here. This is not one of those things that just looks like one. So if you find those silver discs or those golden coins or whatnot, and you see that stuff, don't sell it to Oleg or anyone else. Just slap it in here for the time being until you find that exotic collector. Alright, so now we've got all that, then we can take a nap. But again, we still have this treasure chest staring at us. So let's do a quick save scumming. And we want to buff up my character. See if I can't pick it.
I failed.
I failed, and this is the check. Difficulty at 21, I have a 3, and that's with his modifier that he slapped on me. Let's actually redo that. And yes, I'm leaving the fact that I am save scumming in here for you so you can see that I'm doing it. There is another trick that I did not employ. Let's do that real fast. Okay, I have one. I need to make sure he buffs me.
Our duty calls.
So you see that I have the guidance on. You also see that I'm taking a penalty of -2, my armor check penalty. That is literally lowering my chances of picking the lock. And you saw last time it was at a +3. Now it should be a +5. Still failed it, but there's my +5 now. So I would need a, was that 21 -5? I need a 16 or higher to get it on that character.
Adventures call.
Let's just find out what Lindsay can do. We'll save scum it, but we'll see if Lindsay can get it. I don't particularly care if she gets it this time. I want what's
Anything is
inside.
possible. I failed.
But she's rocking a 6, and that's with her gear on. And she's got that same -2 penalty. So literally, if I wanted to do it right, I'll save scum it, try again with my character with the armor off, try it with Lindsay's armor off, make sure to buff both of them, and we'll give that a go, see how long it takes. I'll edit all this out until we actually get this.
Let us bide our time. Impossible.
And Lindsay was called forth. Applause, please.
Okay, now we didn't make it, so I'll cut that part back in so you see me buffing everybody up. But Lindsay was the one that got it, so she's going to be the one that gets any XP if there's any off of this. So let's see what we picked up, shall we? We got silver spoons, pirate brooch, golden statuette to sell, golden trinkets to sell, and scroll of bane. We collect all those things. Now, we got all that stuff.
I'll go ahead.
We're going to go over here to the bed and rest. We're going to have a little cutscene here. This will be your first push towards a mission. So we wake up and we have some spirit basically talking to us in the area. Turns out to be this.
Please hear me. Can you hear me? Please.
Basically, this is the guardian of the blooms, based on the picture here. She's basically a dryad or a nymph or some such. She's basically in the area and she's looking for help. So we will talk to her, but I'm going to fast forward through this stuff again.
Beauty is
Basically want to find out what she wants, and she doesn't like the stag lord any more than we do, because he's made a fog in the area, and the fog is actually choking off her plants. So we ask her for how we can help. She tells us basically to kill off the stag lord and she'll be happy. She gives us 270 XP for that, which is pretty nice.
I could learn. I don't
And then we just go from there. Now, she has a super sexy voice, so I shouldn't have been talking over her. I do apologize to those that wanted to hear her talk. But you'll get it on your own playthrough. I've heard her talk so many times now that it's kind of, it's there and it's
The path
annoying
is
that I have
clear.
to sit through the chatter every time. But now you see that we're by ourselves. This is your home base, so to speak. From here, this is basically like if Lindsay dies in battle, she has a ring that teleports her. This will be where she gets teleported to, and you'll go pick her up. Now, since we woke
Tread
up,
lightly.
Svetlana is wanting to talk to us in the morning, so let's talk to her first. She talks to us. She tells us about, you know, she's lost her ring. She thinks one of the bandits have taken it. Please get her ring back. And so, of course, we're going to help her. You ask her about her and Olaf and what she knows about the Stag Lord, and we basically reassure her or be a complete evil prick. So I'm going to go with chaotic good. I like adventures, but I definitely prefer the ones that involve stopping villains and helping people. So she's happy. So we say goodbye. Now this person here, Anna Real 8 Eyes, is the person you want to talk to get your merc or mercs. They're always here as far as I know. And we basically talk to them, and you can talk to them and find out what they're doing. Well, basically, here's the take-home message. I need loyal and experienced fighters. They say it costs you 500 gold pieces. Let me think about it, because I want to see something real quick. First, let's check our inventory. We have 1293. So if it is 500, I can get 2. Let's talk to her again. I agree. And now you go through the creation process again for who you want for your team. So we'll see. I wanted to be a bomber, right? Is there anyone that sticks out as being an awesome looking bomber? No. He'd make a decent scroll savant though with the scrolls on his pouch. This is clearly and obviously a cleric praying, so I'm not gonna pick her. Oh, little bitty feller. That looks like more like a ranger. I feel like I'm missing somebody. He could be a scroll savant. He's actually got a pretty good outfit for that. Oh, there's no one that sticks out as being an obvious alchemist. So I guess what we'll do is I'll get a custom portrait. So I'm going to have to do that off camera so you guys don't see all my cool stuff on my computer. But I'll be right back. Alright, we are back. I have selected a portrait. We're not going to do the alchemist first. We'll do the scroll savant first. So this is the one I picked for scroll savant. She looks like a big old brainy bookworm, so she looks perfect for the team. And we can make her female with black hair. She's going to be scrawny. She will be human. Although, now that I think about that, we're going to take a hit to our stats. Maybe I should make her elf. And with the elven magic, that's not bad. Overcome spell resistance, that'll be nice for her. Plus 2 racial bonus and knowledge arcana. Yeah, I think we're going to make her an elf. You can't see her ears, so you just have to trust that she's an elf. We're going to make her hair as dark as I can make it. That looks almost black. Do that is gray, so we definitely want that one. Hairstyle. Ooh, that was not a good look for you, honey. Long, up, short, by a little bob. They really need more hairstyles. Face-wise, oh, that's creepy. No, that's not even remotely better. That means she's pissed. 2's okay. 1's okay. I guess 2's with makeup. So I guess we'll go with 1. She doesn't look like she... Well, I guess she does have makeup. She got lip gloss or something on there. And she's pale. How can I illustrate pale? I guess that's the closest we'll get is this one. That one was pretty good. Yeah, she looks pretty decent like that. Alright. We're going to make her a lefty just because, why the hell not? And we're going to go down to Wizard. And Scroll Savant. Now remember, I'm going to take her 17 levels of Scroll Savant, because that's going to give her at least the first 10 levels. We'll get her these scroll abilities. We'll go over those in just a moment. 17 will also allow her to get one of these wizard bonus feats, which will be nice. It'll probably be like a meta magic or some such. And then the other 3 levels, which won't be the end, it'll be somewhere in the middle, will be Magus. Like this, Eldritch Archer. And the reason for that is, A, we get the ability to enchant our weapon, which will come in handy early on. And B, we get ranged spell combat and ranged spell strike, which allow us to attack with our bow in our hand and still do spells and channel some spells through our bow at level 2. And then at level 3, we get a Magus Arcana, which will be that wand ability I was mentioning the other day. So this will be something we get probably after the first level, definitely, of Scroll Savant, because we really want to get this here, Scroll Focus. She basically gets an automatic 10 for use magic device on anything that is for a scroll, if that's good enough to cast the scroll. Basically what this means is if she's capable, 10 is good enough for her to pass the check, she will always pass the check. That's what this is basically saying. Here, also by the way, more to it than just that. So basically she adds her class level, minimum of 1, so she gets 1 right now, to use magic device checks, okay? And then, so at level 17, she will literally be, because it rounds down 16, so it'll be 8. She'll get a +8 to her use magic device checks, which means she'll be able to damn near use anything she wants. Then when we get to level 5, we get Scroll Specialization. She calculates the DC of any spell that she casts based off her intelligence modifier, which we're going to pump through the roof, and that's going to help her land those spells. Okay, because the DC is basically like your check, your saving throw check against it. So normally on a scroll, they give the lowest possible DC that it would be based on the lowest possible, for in this case we use her as a reference. Intelligence is her main stat for casting spells. So that stat has to be a certain level for you to cast a spell. Say Fireball, a level 3 spell, means you have to have an intelligence of at least 13 to cast it. That's only at +1 for her intelligence bump. So that means that the DC will be extremely low for casting it from a scroll versus from her casting it from her book, from her own personal spell list. This basically switches it to being like it was in her spell book, if that makes sense. So the higher I pump her intelligence and her basically her DC of her spells will be based off of how high her intelligence is, means that her scrolls will be cast on that same high level. That'll be really nice. From here, Scroll Mastery, she can use her caster level. Now this is where she really shines. Her caster level instead of the item's caster level. So when you find a scroll will literally tell you that it's caster level 1, caster level 5, caster level whatever built into the scroll. That's the strength at which you would cast that spell if you are successful in casting it. Having said that, most of the ones we're going to get are going to be low level ones, like a magic missile I have right now is a level 1 spell, and therefore the spell level that they made the scroll is also level 1. Magic missile goes up in usefulness as you level up as a character. So a level 3 casting gets you 2 missiles, level 5 casting gives you 3, level 7 casting gets you 4, level 9 is where it caps out at, will give you 5 castings. So if she literally was a level 10, Scroll Master, and she had one of those level 1 magic missile scrolls, she would be blasting you with 5 missiles instead of just a lowly 1. See what I'm saying? So this gets her to be like the Batman of the team, because she can just have all kinds of scrolls to buff herself up, buff the team up, and last for long periods of time. That's the reason why I was actually tempted to make this be my main soloing character. It's not a sorcerer, so spontaneous casting's out the window, and wizards don't get anything other than a really kick-ass spell book and a plan for any occasion, but you have to slot those spells. By being a Scroll Savant version, though, I can literally just have a shit ton of scrolls in my inventory and just buff up from those as I need, and that's kind of the goal with her. I don't like the color scheme she's got going on here, so we're going to do some changing around. So that one's blue. I want this one to be blue, and I want this one to be, what, gold? Something like that. I'm good with that. So now that's the plan behind her. She also gets one other really good thing here. We can pick a specialty for a school. And while you can look through all these and see which ones you like, I'm definitely going evocation for this one. And I'll show you why. Intense spells. So whenever you cast an evocation spell that deals hit point damage, which is most of them, you add half your wizard level to the damage, minimum of +1. So right now she can cast a spell that does damage, and it will literally do an extra point of damage. As she levels up, she will get to level 17, which will be, again, rounding down to 16. So she'll get a +8 to all her spells that do damage. It's not huge, but that little +8 each time could be enough to literally wipe a bastard out. Plus, she also gets this kick-ass force missiles innate ability, kind of like a magic missile on the cheap. She can use this 3 times a day, plus her intelligence modifier, which again, we're going to pump through the roof. It'll be at least 18. So she'll have 7 uses of this a day, so free magic damage. Eventually she'll even get the ability to summon an elemental wall of one type of element, fire, cold, acid, or electric damage. And she can do that a number of times a day, equal to, let's see, 12th level, and every 4th level thereafter she can use this again. So at 12th level is when she'll get a 2nd use, and at 16th level she'll get a 3rd use. We won't get to the 4th use because we're not taking her all the way to 20. But pretty damn cool. Now she gets an arcane bond, and we can do one of 2 things. We can either get a familiar, and there are various ones here. The one that I always like is the hare, because it gets an initiative bonus, +4 to initiative checks, and a +2 to perception checks. They all give a +2 to perception. We can get more hit points if we go chicken. Dog gives her a bonus to Lord Nature. So you can go through and decide, oh, she's going to be a persuasion type person. Get the Viper, +3 to persuasion. That's a fine example. And these pets don't do anything other than give you the bonus, but you have to have them out, and you can do that. It's easy enough to just activate them. It's a toggle, and they don't take damage. They don't seem to die, so you don't have to worry about whether your familiar's going to get roasted or anything like that. There's a couple weird ones in here. I do like the will saves bonus, but I mean, you're already going to save like crazy on will saves. You can get some stealth bonus, hit points, like I said, increase to specific knowledges. In this case, world. Duck familiar is world. Hare familiar is the initiative check. And again, you can go through all these and check them. There's one that gives you armor. I'll say it's a lizard. Yeah, +1 natural armor class bonus. And I want to say that those stack, so that's actually not a horrible one to have. But I like this other one, this arcane bond. And what this one does is it allows us to literally take any spell that we cast and already burnt up in a day and get it right back again. And this can be any level. So literally, if you have a level 9 spell and you're like, oh, I really want that spell back, I already used it, use your arcane bond on it, basically resummons it back, and then you can use it again, which is pretty damn pimp. But like I said, it's only 1 spell, so it's not amazing or anything like that. Now we want to make sure that she has a decent dexterity, because she's going to be attacking from range. We'll give her a crossbow. We want to have this at least 18. I don't like her con being low. That's because she's an elf, so we pump that up a little bit. From there, I can do 3 points in anything else. So do I want higher wisdom, higher charisma, or higher strength? She's not particularly strong. That doesn't mean I can't make her strong. But let's make this like so. We'll give her a nice charisma bump. No, that's actually screw charisma. Let's give her wisdom, so that will affect lore and perception. Those are 3 wisdom ones right there. These 2 are going to be intelligence. This one, persuasion and use magic device, will be charisma. And she's already getting a pretty decent bump from use magic device. Her intelligence being as high as it is, she's going to get some decent skills. So let's actually rock the ones that we're probably going to want to have. Like so. That feels good for now. Alright, let's take away our religion one for now and give her perception. We need to get that thing up. Remember, everybody can use perception, right? So that's pretty decent. Okay, now we got feats. We have opposition school. Remember, because we specifically picked a school, we have to pick 2 opposing schools where she has problems casting their spells. Divination is a good one because there's not very many of those anyway. And you can still cast these spells, and I can cast them from scrolls too, which is going to be extremely nice. From there, is she going to be buffing the team? Yes, well, we want to keep abjuration. Is she going to be summoning pets and other stuff like magic armor? Then you probably want to keep conjuration. Is she going to be damaging anybody? That's evocation, which of course we can't pick because that is our specialist school anyway. Illusion's a decent one, but there's really good buffs in there. Transmutation's a decent one. There's really good stuff in there. Necromancy's kind of hit or miss. Enchantment's kind of hit or miss. So I would say go divination and enchantment, or divination and necromancy. Let's do necromancy. And then divination for that one. And here we get to pick a feat. She's going to be a ranged attacker. So point blank shots a pretty good call. If we wanted to worry about her being a fighter in melee combat, we would have gone weapon finesse, so that any finessable weapon like a dagger, she could use her higher dexterity to help her a little bit, but we're not going to do that. We're going to rely on her spellcasting ability for a while here. So point blank shots is what it's going to be. Now we get to make a proper spell book for her. Now we get all the level 0 spells, and you see the ones in red, those are the ones that she can't really have access to because of her pick for the 2 schools that she didn't want. So this is necromancy, and so is this one. So that's going to be an issue. We can still pick her other spells down here that are in red, and again, that's necromancy and divination, so we miss on a true strike. We can pick it though, and we can use it. It just costs us 2 spell slots to use it, so it's not something we're going to want to pick. We definitely want mage armor, because she's not going to have any armor otherwise. Evocation is going to be her trick and trade, so we want stuff that does damage. I got to do this right. Mage armor. Click that one now. Ear-piercing scream. Magic missile. Those are auto-hit moves. This one can be saved for half damage, but that's a thing, whatever. It has another effect on it, that's pretty nice. Magic missile, of course, auto-hit for obvious reasons. Shocking grass. Shocking grass will do good damage if they ever get that close to us. Oh, now let's look about some buff stuff. First, grease. You can never go wrong with grease. Hurricane bow will work for her because she's going to be attacking from range. That's pretty nice. Notice how it's personal, so that means it can only work on the caster. From there, another good ranged attack I find is snowball, and I think that's a pretty good start. We got to give her a voice. Sadly, this part's not working for me, so we'll have to just
Let us
remember.
be careful. Let us bide our time.
Oh, there we go. So we're going to call her Bookworm. Welcome to the team, Bookworm. You're also chaotic good like me. What were the chances?
No contest.
Well, alright. Now that's one. Now how much gold did we lose out of that? Not very much, right? So we have the ability to do it again. I agree. And now we're going to make our bombardier. And again, I'm going to have to go off camera to do this, so I'll be right back. Alright, we are back. I found a portrait that's, he's got bottles of something. He looks more like Drunken Master to me, but that's okay. He's a little bit on the large side, so we're going to do that. To make him stern face, we got to give him a little beard stubble. Like so. Darker hair, I want to say. Fits for him. Here's style. It's actually almost the right style right there. Close cropped hair. Yeah, I guess we'll go with that. And now for the face. He's kind of a thick-faced guy, so this kind of looks pretty good. 7. And I don't like the anger look. That one's okay. 7 or 3. Let's go with 7. I like 7. He's got a bit of a tan. He's been outside, and of course his potion's probably tinted the color of his skin. So sounds good to me. Next, we are making him a straight alchemist, and it is a grenadier alchemist. For those of you that don't know, regular alchemist goes all the way to poison immunity. Grenadier ones kind of lose out on that. They get some poison resistance though, which is pretty nice. Chirurgeon is the similar version, but they do a lot of healing. We can do healing too, but they basically get the ability to infuse their potions and hand them to others and help others that way, as well as get some particularly nice buffs towards healing. Vivisectionist is the one everyone drools over because you get sneak attack damage, but you lose the bombs. So you're not really an alchemist really anymore as far as I'm concerned. You are and you're not. It's because this mutagen and the Vivisectionist gets the sneak attack too that people drool all over this one. Plus the full poison immunity if they really want to go that route. They're more like a... If you wanted to play a character that, you know, felt like a wizard slash fighter slash cleric slash thief, you could really go Vivisectionist all the way and feel pretty comfortable being that character. It seems odd because you get mutagens, which buffs your physical stats. You can get a different type of mutagen called a cognitigen, which increases your mental stats if that's the thing you want to go for. You have the ability to sneak attack damage. You have the ability to resist poisons, cast spells as potions on yourself mostly. And those are buffs and heals and do damage and all kinds of other weird shit. So there's a lot of really good stuff that you find in Alchemist. But Grenadier is one we're going for because it gives us this precise bomb, level 2, and they can do directed blast with those bombs, and they get a lot of really good bomb upgrades. So that's the guy we're making. And again, he is a dex-based character. Intelligence is important. You get a int bonus. I think I'm going to take this one down and pump that to 3 because he looks a little meaty, so he might be a little stronger than we think. Matter of fact, we push that to 14 and 14. He doesn't need full spell progression. That's why I'm kind of getting a little weird with his stats. The full spell progression, for those of you that don't know what I mean, is he can only cast 0 through 6 spells. Matter of fact, I don't even think he gets cantrips, so that's kind of misleading. He gets level 1 through 6 spells, and that's all he gets. And it's kind of a very limited pool of spells. They're very cool, though. I mean, they're definitely worth looking into. We don't have an odd stat. That's what I'm looking at right now. If I take that one away, it gives me 2 more points. Maybe I can put that into con. Do that one to be 3 more away. Yeah, let's do that. He is a little meaty looking, so we'll get his con up a little bit too. But intelligence is definitely his main stat, and he throws things, so of course we want his dex to be high. He's capable as a grenadier to having decent armor as well as martial weapons, so he can actually fight, so he'll buff himself up and run into battle. So having a decent strength and con is not a bad idea either, but basically dex and intelligence are his main points. We'll put 1 point in strength to level him up to 14, and then another 4 points in probably in intelligence straight away. Or dex, we may split him, I suppose. He's not our main, so it doesn't really matter. But he's good at trickery, arcana, world, nature, perception, and use magic device. And I was able to put 1 in each of those things. So I'm actually kind of cool with that. I'll have to leave that the way it is right now. And then from there we'll level him up as we need. This is really good that he gets trickery, though, so he can be kind of our sneak thief if we really want him to be. And because we have the skill points shared, split now, where it's literally whoever does the right skill gets the XP. If I use him to pick the locks from now on, he'll level up faster than me or Lindsay, so that's not bad either. So now we have 2 feats we get to choose from, which is really nice. One is because he's human, by the way. He's going to be a ranged attacker, so rapid shot would not be a horrible choice. Precise shot, point blank shot would not be bad either. As a matter of fact, I think that's kind of the way to go here. Be something that any archer type should probably want to invest in, is these 2 feats. Precise shot and point blank shot. If not point blank shot, at the very least precise shot, which you need point blank shot to get. However, there's like 1 or 2 classes that can get it for free, where they bypass the need of point blank shot. And I know that the paladin, the ranged paladin, the divine hunter, gets it for free at level 1. It's kind of a nice dip if you wanted to go an archer type. Now here's his spell list. Notice how his spell list is pretty limited. He can scribe scrolls, though, into his spell book. That's something that I thought was very cool, and that includes these clerical-based ones, so like Cure Light Wounds and such. If I have one of those, I can pass it to him, and he can literally scribe that into his book. So we're going to grab the ones we know we don't have. So these Target Bomb Admixture and Bomber's Eye. True Strike, I don't think I have a scroll for that. I might, but I don't think I do. Stone Fists, I probably don't. Mars Person, I probably don't. And I think I have Expeditious Retreat. I don't think I have Fire Belly, and that's a pretty good one for him to have too, because he does fire damage. So we'll do it like that. These Cure Light Wounds, Expeditious Retreats, Reduce Person, and Shield. Hopefully I have at least 2 of these. I think I do. And we'll just pass them off to him. Now what are we going to call him? Make him pragmatic, why not? Mad Bomber. Let's see if we can get anything crazy. Won't let me do it. Midnight Bomber with bombs at midnight was what he is going to be. So I guess we'll just call him the Midnight Bomber. And he's also chaotic good. Who would have thunk it? Alright, so there's our guy. Now that we were done with that, and we have everybody that we want on our party, I can finally level up my character, the Magus. Eldritch Scion Magus. I have a bump to my con because of the belt that I'm wearing. So you see that my con is a little higher than it should be. I'm going to invest, like I said, I want to unlock everything, right? These ones are default good. Arcana allows me to identify things. I always want to go up for trickery or perception. Matter of fact, I think I want perception more than I want trickery. No, I want to, because if I can get those checks in early, this will pay for itself in gold, and I can start leveling up the perception in other rounds. I get another spell to my book, and I have to pick specific spells that I want. Now, a lot of people would think that because I'm a Magus type that I can cast stuff through my weapon, which I can at this level now. Corrosive Titch would be the obvious choice. It's an okay spell, acid damage. Spell resistance is still a thing, which I think kind of sucky for an acid spell. I don't think that should be a thing, but whatever. It's melee touch attack, just like Shocking Grasp, doesn't do as much damage as Shocking Grasp. and does a different type of damage, so there's that. But I already have acid spells already on the team, so I think this one's kind of pissy. AoE effect would be okay, but I don't particularly do a lot of that. I have bombers for that now. Expeditious Retreat, on the other hand, is pretty helpful. So is Grease. Snowball is one, though, that I find a lot of good use. And so is Magic Missile, but you see it's reddened out because I'm an arcane bloodline. I get Magic Missile for free at level 3. So I'm a ways away from it, but still something to consider. Make sure you don't pick it by mistake. Now I have Spell Strike, which means I can cast my Shocking Grasp through my weapon now. And if the weapon crits, Shocking Grasp crits. So that's kind of cool. Snowball's just a really nice volleying spell, and at level 2 it's already doing 2d6 of damage, so it's pretty good. I mean, it's comparable with Shocking Grasp, just a different type of damage, and with Point Blank Shot, which I think my character has, or will have soon, it'll do even more damage if it's at close range. So, notice, of course, because I'm a Celestial, I get some resistances here, which is pretty nice as well. But that's it. And now I want to make sure I put these in the right spot. Now you see that I have Bless for some odd reason 3 times. Remember, that's the ring that I show you. I equipped it already. The Bless Signet. And I cast that 3 times a day. It actually lets you cast it as a level 3 cleric. It says first level cleric. I think they mean it's first level cleric spell. But I want to make sure that I have everything I want. I don't need that now. I won't need those bracers. That'll be someone else on the team will get those. My bookworm. So let's talk to Oleg. And we basically ask him about himself and ask about the Stag Lord. He's going to give us extra information about the area. And we show him the wares. And we're going to get rid of some stuff that we don't need. And remember, this I can always give to the cleric. And boo, it messed up my pictures. Alright, I'm going to have to fix this, guys. I'll get out of this. It made the picture for one merc and then it didn't give it to me again. That seems weird. So I can only have one picture per merc and they thought they have to share the same picture. That seems dumb as hell. I'll have to fix that though if I can. But with that, my name is Brothermutant. Please like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what you guys think. And I know we didn't do a lot in this video. It's going to be truncated quite a bit. But hopefully you get an idea for what I'm going to build my team as. But with that, I'll see you guys soon. Bye now.